Welcome to another episode of Weird Beard Fishing, y'all. Today, I'm going to show you how I dissect these smaller ponds. Because yes, you can dissect a smaller pond. A lot of times, fish are going to key in on certain areas. So today, I'm going to show you how I bisect or dissect a pond like this in a housing development. Which I've got asked a few times. Like, how do you go about fishing these ponds? Well, I'm going to give you guys just a little bit of a crash course. Not promising anything, I've only got about a half an hour to fish, so let's see if we can get a few fish and I'm going to show you exactly what I do. So the very first thing that I do is I always know that these fish are going to be usually in the corners. This thing is shaped like a rectangle. Corner, corner, corner. And a lot of times they'll be on that short side or this short side. Sometimes they will sit on the long side or that long side. But for the most part, during the fall, they're going to be tucked up in these corners, ready to ambush something that's coming by. Just like down here and down there. And I'm going to be just throwing fast-moving baits today. Got our handy dandy spinnerbait with a smaller profile, because most bait fish they're going to eat in here are probably smaller on the size. And then, of course, the swim bait. So let's get at it. Well, it looks like they cut all the grass down all the way around this thing. So now everywhere is kind of castable. Well, let's see if we can get something. I hope I can get something on the new rod. I would love to get something. Looks like the water is kind of stained. It did rain a little bit. So maybe, just maybe, this white swim bait will work and make them react. That'd be pretty awesome. I know there's quite a bit of grass here though. Definitely have to work it kind of fast. Uh-oh, looks like it's gonna start raining a little bit harder. Oh. Time to try the spinner bait. Splinter bait, splinter bait. Just to try the splinter bait. Got one. Huh, here, it's lethargic, man. Oh, wow, that bass is actually cold. That bass is actually kind of cold, man. Huh. Huh. See, I just threw that swim bait over there in that same exact area, and I didn't get bit. It was the spinnerbait that got bit. Scoot back on down here. Try down this bank real quick. Working parallel to the banks, if you ask me, is pretty key. Because most of the fish are sitting decently close to that bank, you know, within 10 foot. So that's more of like the strike zone. Because that's where the fish is actually sitting. So working at parallel actually matters. See, I'm even actually kind of putting the rod out so that way the rod tip is out and over the water. In this tiny of a pond, I'm not too afraid of anything giant grabbing it and pulling the rod out of my hand, but it keeps that bait out there in the strike zone just a little bit longer instead of me working it straight back towards myself. I'll keep going around. I have a feeling there should be one somewhere in this corner or along this side. Most of the time, it seems like it's only thrown parallel, like on these. This thing is kind of shaped like a rectangle. They'll be either in the corner or on the short side. Sometimes you can find them on the long side. But most of the time, they're either in the corner or on one of the short sides. There's one. See what I told you guys. in that back right corner, or, you know, slash short side. Bam. Okay, dude. Chill a little, dude. Get your head off. Just trying to get a picture of you, bud. Right back in that same corner. Oh, I just scared something big. Something big just ran left. So maybe when I get over to that corner, I can throw down that bank. See, and I'm kind of trying to change my angle up some, because you never know, some might be sitting a little bit closer to the bank, some might be sitting farther to the bank from the bank. So kind of what I do is I bisect the ponds, or dissect, I guess you could say, because it's in the multiple areas. I know in my mind where fish are most likely gonna sit. Oh, I was gonna go in the reeds there. So I kind of know where to focus most of my time. Like, I'll go through here. Now that I saw one that was over there on that other side, I'll probably hit down that long ways, and then I'll throw it once down this long ways, just because changing the angle from where I just worked across all of this, coming from the other way. Sometimes all you need is that change of angle. Bam. All right, so let's get on to the other side. Another thing I can do, because I know there's some decent fish in here, some of the bigger fish might be sitting out in the middle. So you could take the heavier swim bait, throw it out in the middle, and then slow reel it to where it's sitting kind of close to the bottom. All right, now, see, now that I'm over here on the other side, I'm gonna try and cast parallel with the bank, which of course I scared a fish as soon as I casted. And I'm gonna work it right down this bank, because this is where we saw that fish run. Granted, there's other fish in here other than bass, so you never know what you scare when you cast. But never know, it could be a big bass too. But I've seen big old carp in here, big old catfish. Even saw a pretty dang big goldfish in here once. You just never know with these housing development ponds what could really be in here. Yeah, you can see them putting the rod out just a little bit farther away from the bank, so I can get that nice parallel cast down this bank and keep it out at that distance. Now my guess is there might not be one down through this side, but when I get down to that other corner, there might be something sitting in there. But I'm not gonna waste any opportunities, so I'm still gonna fish down through here, but I'm gonna fish down through here just a little bit faster than I would if I was fishing the corner. And see, I'm marking it pretty fast. You can actually even almost kind of see a wake on the top, because this doesn't have the willow leaves. This has a Colorado. So this puts off more of a wake, but it is a lot smaller profile. There we go, got one. What I tell you guys, in that corner, cast it all the way down to that corner down there. And they're usually always in the corners this time of year. If it was during the middle of the summer, they'd probably be out towards the middle. And then once it's getting darker like this, little guy. During the summer, they'll be out in the middle, and when it starts getting dark, they'll come up and feed some. But when it's getting to be fall time, they'll spend a lot more time up close to that bank, and they'll be actually, you know, on the hunt. They'll be looking for food. All right, now that I caught a fish there, I threw a few more casts. I'm gonna come down to this corner, and I'm gonna cast down the small part of this pond, the small side. And before I get actually to that, I'm gonna work it around this corner some before I cast directly down that short side, just to see if there's any fish still hanging around this corner. Also, another thing I'm going to do while I have this vantage point, I'm standing way up here, I'm also going to cast right back down that bank that I was just working, but from, yet again, a different angle. Because sometimes that's all that it takes. Switching up your angle and then boom. That's when you get a fish. You just never know. And then also while I'm standing way up here, I'm going to figure, might as well go ahead and give the swim bait a try. That 100% feels like I'm hitting fish because it feels like soft objects. Granted, there could be quite a bit of catfish in here. Oh wow, that was a bass right here, right in front of me. Oh, I had him. Oh, come on, I might have missed my only shot. Maybe this will be the only corner that there is none in, just to disprove my theory. But there has been 3 fish in 3 corners. The very first fish came from that corner, the second fish came from that corner, and then the third fish came from the corner that I'm standing at this very moment. Now, I did just miss a fish. Oh, no, get up out of there. Off of the, well, I guess it's coming towards the corner, but over here by that long section right here, I did have the swim bait out and had something come up and hit a bluegill up right by the bank, and I just missed it. Come on, pond, don't make me a liar. I know you got one in this corner. Maybe once I go to that corner, he'll be just on that edge of the side. And with a willow leaf like this, you can actually reel it a little bit slower because it does have quite a bit more resistance than the, I mean, Colorado. This is a Colorado, not a willow. Ooh. All right, a little bit faster down this side here. Almost wake it. Sometimes they just like it running fast like that, and I guess sometimes they don't. One thing I can do is maybe see if they reloaded in those corners down there. I'm gonna put this rod away real quick. And we're gonna see if this fish reloaded down there. You know what? I won't even put the rod away. I'm just gonna go down here and see if they reloaded. Nope, looks like they did not reload.